My beloved child, there is a moment approaching that will change the energy around your heart forever. Right now, while you are questioning the silence, while you are wondering why certain emotions feel heavier at night, someone is standing beside an open suitcase, thinking about you more deeply than you realize. Don't skip this part, because something huge is waiting for you. Your soulmate is not packing their bags to run away from love. They are preparing to move closer to a truth they can no longer ignore. For so long, they tried to convince themselves that distance was easier. Easier than vulnerability. Easier than admitting your presence has changed them forever. But lately, everything reminds them of you. A song they were not expecting. A late-night memory that refused to fade. A feeling in their chest they cannot explain. And tonight feels different. There is tension in the air around them, not from fear, but from realization. They are beginning to understand that the connection between you was never ordinary. Every delay, every missed chance, every moment of confusion led to this exact turning point. Stay till the end, because the next revelation may explain why your energy has felt so restless lately. Your soulmate has been replaying your words in their mind again and again. Even the smallest details have stayed with them. The way you made them feel seen. The calm they could never replace. The strange comfort that followed them long after you were gone. They thought time would erase it. It didn't. In fact, the distance only made your presence stronger. And now, they are standing at the edge of a decision that could bring two paths together faster than expected. A journey is forming. A message is getting closer. A truth is finally becoming impossible to hide. But what they discovered recently about you changed everything. A quiet shift is happening behind the scenes, and your soulmate can feel it with every passing hour. The life they once tried to hold together no longer feels complete without your energy in it. Even surrounded by familiar places, something inside them keeps whispering your name. This is why they started packing. Not carelessly. Not impulsively. Every folded shirt, every small choice, every late-night thought carries emotion they cannot explain to anyone else. It is deeper than excitement. Deeper than curiosity. It feels like destiny pulling gently at their spirit, asking them to stop resisting what their heart already knows. Don't skip now, because the next part reveals why this moment feels so urgent. Recently, they saw a sign that shook them in the most unexpected way. It was simple, almost ordinary, yet it reminded them of you so strongly that they had to pause and breathe it in. Since then, sleep has felt different. Their dreams feel vivid. Their thoughts keep circling back to one question. What if this connection is real? And the answer is slowly unfolding in front of them. They are beginning to understand that you were never just another chapter. You became the turning point. The person who awakened emotions they had buried for far too long. The one presence capable of making them reconsider the direction of their entire future. Something huge is waiting for you both. Because while you have been doubting the silence, your soulmate has been quietly preparing for movement. Quietly preparing for change. Quietly preparing to close the distance that once felt impossible. But there is still one secret they have not confessed to anyone, and once it comes out, nothing between you will feel the same again. There is a reason your heart has felt unusually alert lately, as if something unseen has been trying to get your attention. Your soulmate is carrying a truth so powerful that even they can no longer keep it hidden from themselves. They almost reached out sooner. More than once, they opened a message, stared at your name, and paused. Not because they stopped caring, but because the emotions became too real. They knew that once they stepped toward you fully, their life would begin to change in ways they could never reverse. And now that moment is getting closer. Stay till the end, because what happens next could explain why everything suddenly feels emotionally intense around you. Your soulmate has started letting go of the things that kept them emotionally stuck. Old doubts. Old fears. Old excuses. The version of themselves that kept pretending they were fine without you is slowly disappearing. That is why the suitcase matters. It is not just about travel. It is symbolic. It represents a choice. A willingness to leave behind confusion and move toward what feels genuine. Toward what feels alive. And deep down, they believe that feeling is you. Recently, someone asked them why they seemed distracted. They smiled softly but could not explain the truth. How do you explain that one person changed the atmosphere of your entire world? How do you explain that no matter how far you go, your soul keeps returning to the same name? They are trying to stay calm on the outside. But inside, everything is shifting. Something huge is waiting for you, and the closer they get to this decision, the harder it becomes for them to hide their emotions. Because there is one memory of you they replay every single night, and in the next part, you will finally understand why it means so much to them. In the middle of an ordinary moment, your soulmate remembered something about you that completely changed their emotional direction. It was not a grand event. Not a dramatic goodbye. It was something softer, the way you understood them without forcing explanations. That memory has stayed alive in their heart. And now it follows them everywhere. While packing their bags, they paused for several minutes holding something simple in their hands, because suddenly your presence filled the room again. The silence around them became emotional. Heavy with realization. They finally understood that no connection after you ever carried the same warmth. Don't skip this moment, because the next truth is incredibly important. Your soulmate is beginning to recognize that you entered their life during a season when they had almost stopped believing in meaningful connections. They had grown used to emotional distance. Used to protecting themselves. Used to pretending they did not need anyone deeply. Then you arrived. And somehow, without trying, you made them feel safe enough to dream again. That is why this decision feels so serious to them now. Packing their bags is not just about movement. It is about courage. It is about finally facing emotions they spent so long avoiding. Lately, they have been imagining what it would feel like to see you again. Not in fantasy, but in reality. The sound of your voice. The energy between you. The unfinished emotions waiting beneath the surface. And every time they imagine that moment, their heart races. Something huge is waiting for you both. The distance between your paths is shrinking quietly, almost invisibly. Pieces are moving into place behind the scenes in ways neither of you fully expected. But there is still one thing your soulmate has not forgiven themselves for, and that hidden regret is about to push them toward a life-changing choice. A deep emotional realization has been growing inside your soulmate, and tonight it feels impossible for them to ignore anymore. The closer they get to leaving, the more they recognize how much time was lost pretending their feelings were not real. That regret has become impossible to silence. They keep thinking about the moments when they could have spoken more honestly. The times they almost revealed what was truly in their heart but chose caution instead. And now, every memory returns with stronger meaning, as if life itself is reminding them that certain connections are too rare to delay forever. Stay till the end, because something unexpected is unfolding faster than either of you realize. Your soulmate has started noticing little coincidences connected to you everywhere they go. Familiar words. Familiar songs. Familiar emotions appearing at the exact right moment. Each one feels like a quiet confirmation pulling them toward a decision they once feared making. And this time, they are no longer running from it. The suitcase near the door is becoming more than an object now. It feels like a promise to themselves. A promise that they will stop hiding behind uncertainty and finally move toward what feels true. Toward you. Even the people around them can sense the difference. There is a new determination in their eyes. A calm intensity. As though they already know their future is about to shift in a way they will remember forever. Something huge is waiting for you. Because while you may think nothing is happening, your soulmate has been preparing emotionally for a reunion that feels closer than ever before. They are imagining the first conversation, the first glance, the first moment where silence disappears and honesty finally takes its place. But what they discovered about your connection last night changed the entire timeline in their heart, and the next part reveals why they suddenly feel they cannot wait any longer. Late last night, your soulmate experienced a moment so quiet yet so powerful that it stayed with them long after the world around them fell asleep. In that stillness, they stopped fighting their emotions for the first time. And everything became clear. They realized that no matter how much they distracted themselves, your presence never truly left them. It remained in the spaces between thoughts, in the silence after conversations, in the feeling they carried into every new day without understanding why. But now they understand. Don't skip this part, because the next revelation changes the meaning of everything that came before. Your soulmate finally admitted to themselves that meeting you was not accidental. You awakened parts of them they thought had disappeared forever. Hope. Vulnerability. The courage to imagine a future built on something real instead of temporary distractions. That realization is why the energy around them feels so intense now. They have begun organizing more than luggage. They are reorganizing their priorities. Clearing emotional weight. Making room for the possibility of a connection that feels deeper than anything they expected to find. And strangely, the closer they move toward this decision, the calmer they feel. As if their heart has already chosen. Something huge is waiting for you both. A chapter that once seemed delayed is slowly opening again, and your soulmate can feel the timing shifting in ways they cannot explain logically. They keep asking themselves one question. What happens if I finally stop holding back? Because deep inside, they already know the answer could change everything. And in the next part, you will discover the exact reason they believe this connection deserves one final, unforgettable chance. For the first time in a long while, your soulmate is no longer focused on what could go wrong. Instead, they are thinking about what could finally go right if they choose you without hesitation. That change is transforming them from the inside out. They have spent countless nights replaying the journey that brought them here. Every misunderstanding. Every delay. Every emotional twist that once seemed confusing now feels connected to a larger purpose. And the more they reflect, the more they realize something undeniable. No matter where life led them, their heart always circled back to you. Stay till the end, because something unforgettable is getting closer with every passing moment. Your soulmate believes this connection deserves one final chance because of the way you changed their understanding of love itself. You never forced them to become someone else. You simply inspired them to become more honest, more open, more real. That kind of connection is rare. And now they fear losing it forever if they stay silent any longer. The bags are nearly ready. The emotional walls are lowering. Even their energy feels lighter, as though a long period of waiting is finally ending. There is anticipation building inside them now, a quiet excitement mixed with nervous hope. They can already imagine the moment your eyes meet again. Not as strangers. Not as unfinished memories. But as two people who finally understand why they could never fully let each other go. Something huge is waiting for you. Because very soon, a conversation that has been delayed for far too long may finally begin. The truth your soulmate once buried is rising to the surface, and once those emotions are spoken aloud, the connection between you could enter an entirely new chapter. But there is still one final fear inside them they have not conquered yet, and the next part reveals what must happen before they take the last step toward you. A quiet battle is still happening inside your soulmate, even as their heart pulls them closer to you with undeniable force. It is not a fear of love itself. It is the fear of arriving too late, the fear that too much time has passed to repair what once felt uncertain. Yet no matter how hard they try to silence those thoughts, your connection keeps shining through the doubt. That is why this moment feels so emotionally charged. Don't skip now, because the next revelation may be the one your heart has been waiting for. Your soulmate recently imagined what life would look like if they never expressed the truth to you. And instead of peace, they felt emptiness. A future missing color. Missing warmth. Missing the one person who made their spirit feel understood without effort. That realization changed everything. For the first time, they stopped asking whether this journey was risky, and started asking whether they could truly live with never trying at all. The answer shook them deeply. Now, every packed bag feels symbolic of courage. Every step forward feels like breaking free from the emotional distance that kept both of you waiting. They are no longer preparing only for movement across places, they are preparing for emotional honesty. And somewhere inside, they believe you can feel it too. Something huge is waiting for you both. The energy between your paths is becoming impossible to ignore, as if life itself is quietly arranging the perfect moment for truths to finally be spoken. Your soulmate is closer than you think to making the decision that changes everything. But before they reach out completely, there is one final sign they are waiting for, and the next part reveals why that sign may appear when you least expect it. At this very moment, your soulmate is watching the world around them differently, searching for one final confirmation before they take the leap their heart has been preparing for all along. And strangely, the closer they get to that decision, the more connected they feel to you. It is almost as if your energies are beginning to meet halfway. They notice your presence in unexpected moments now. In quiet mornings. In random conversations. In memories that arrive without warning and refuse to disappear. Every small reminder feels like the universe softly guiding them toward the same conclusion again and again. This connection still matters. Stay till the end, because the final revelation changes the entire meaning of their journey. Your soulmate is no longer packing from confusion. They are packing with intention. With hope. With the realization that some people enter your life once and leave a mark too meaningful to ignore forever. And you are that person for them. Recently, they stood alone for a long moment, thinking about what they would say if they finally stood in front of you again. Out of all the emotions in their heart, one feeling became stronger than the rest. Gratitude. Gratitude that your paths crossed. Gratitude that your presence awakened something beautiful inside them. Gratitude that even after distance and silence, the connection still feels alive. Something huge is waiting for you. Because the sign they have been waiting for may not arrive through words at all. It may come through timing. Through an unexpected encounter. Through a sudden message that appears exactly when your heart needs it most. And when that moment finally arrives, your soulmate already knows one thing with certainty. They do not want to walk away from this connection anymore. But the final part reveals the powerful choice that could bring both of your worlds together sooner than either of you expected. The moment your soulmate feared for so long is no longer something they want to avoid. It has become the very moment they are ready to embrace. After all the hesitation, all the silence, all the emotional distance, they finally understand that some connections are too meaningful to leave unfinished. And that realization is changing everything. The packed bags beside them no longer represent uncertainty. They represent readiness. Readiness to stop running from emotions that never disappeared. Readiness to step toward the person who stayed in their heart through every season of confusion. You. Don't look away now, because this is where the energy shifts completely. Your soulmate has reached a point where pretending no longer feels possible. They are tired of carrying feelings in silence. Tired of imagining, what if, instead of discovering what could truly happen if both hearts finally meet without fear. Something huge is waiting for you. Because the truth is, they are no longer asking whether this connection is real. They already know it is. The only question left is how soon the distance between you disappears. And deep inside, they feel that moment approaching faster than ever. Soon, there may be a conversation that feels different from every conversation before it. One filled with honesty instead of uncertainty. Warmth instead of hesitation. A moment where both of you finally recognize how much this journey has changed you from within. Your soulmate is packing their bags because their heart has already made the decision long before their mind caught up. Every step they take now carries intention. Every emotion points in the same direction. Toward reconciliation. Toward understanding. Toward the possibility of a love that feels calm, genuine, and unforgettable. And as this chapter quietly begins to open, one thing becomes impossible to ignore. The connection between you was never fading. It was preparing.